What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of PrimeTime with Travvy T. I'm your host, PrimeTime Travvy T himself, and things are a little bit different this time. I kind of went back to the drawing board and thought, what can I do to make this show kind of pop, feel a little bit different than other interview shows? Besides, I try to do the conversation type interview where it's just based off conversation. I'm not just asking cookie cutter questions. I try to be a good interviewer. But I need something else, another shtick, another gimmick, another something. I was gonna say something in like a like Italians or whatever they say that like the gobbledygooka. I don't even know what that means. So if that was offensive, I'm sorry. So yeah, so we're not gonna get away from the interview stuff. We're actually gonna instead of doing an hour to hour and a half long one interview with one person. Which sometimes those are kind of hard to do because it's hard to keep the conversation flowing for that long. Especially with people trying to make it because they kind of want to dance around questions at times when it's hot topics. We're gonna have two interviews. They're 15 to 30 minutes in length. Also, we're going to do a segment in the beginning, which is just going to be me talking to everybody, talking to you, the audience, us having a dialogue. I might have a co-host on occasion. We'll see how it goes with just me for now. Might have a co-host, a rotating co-host even, but we'll see what happens. So first off, welcome. This is your first time listening. Thank you. If you're a return customer, thank you again. And I'm gonna start this off. I'm gonna start this new era off with an important question. Question for the audience. Do y'all pee in the shower? Especially women. Like, men, you're not lying to me, bro. I know you piss in the shower. Like, you got a little fire hose hooked to your body. Like, you're definitely peeing in the shower. I'm peeing in the shower. It's crazy. Now, women, how's that work? You squat to the drain? Like, do you just let it trickle down your leg? Like what's your options here? You know what I mean? Also, I'm catching my vision in the fucking camera, and somebody needs to tell my eye that we're at work right now. Stop being so fucking lazy. This motherfucker over here, like, it's not even, look, I can see that shit clear as day right now. Can't see shit over here. Now, so yeah, tweet me, or put it in the comments, either one. Twitter at IAMTRAVVYT at IMTravvyT. Do you pee in the shower? Because you gotta pee in the shower, right? Like, if you gotta pee, what are you gonna do? Get out? You wanna get out of the shower? Like, just, it's there. The water's gonna rinse it off. Just piss in the shower. Grow up. So in other news, Robin is bisexual. Robin, the boy wonder. Tim Drake is bisexual. I see a lot of people pissed about this. I'm not surprised. That's how people are. Good for Robin. Good for Tim Drake. Good for the LGBT community. I think representation is important. I said it before. I've got a friend. She's a black lesbian, and I said it. Me growing up, I could look on the TV. I could flip to any channel at random and find someone like me to identify with. A straight white male, straight white cisgender male. I could find somebody on TV, any channel, anytime, any day, and find somebody that I can relate to and I can represent, or that can represent me to the masses on every platform. That's not the same for other cultures and other races, other sexualities. So I'm glad to see this. I like this. I want everybody to feel comfortable in their own skin. And I want everybody to feel as if they have a place here in the world. I want everybody to feel. I want a little boy or girl to look into the look at their comics and be like, oh yeah, Robin likes boys and girls. I like boys and girls. Robin understands me. I'm Robin. I'm like Robin. I'm like whoever, right? Like I'm black, little black kids say I like Static Shock. I like John Jones. Fuck, not John Jones. The Green Lantern. What's his last name? About to look it up. Or Luke Cage. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot. John Stewart is his name. It's important. It's important to see these things. Representation matters. Black Ariel in the new Little Mermaid. Mary Jane in the MCU is black. Like seeing this is important for everybody. Not to mention that, let's be honest, guys, in 50, 60 years, straight white men are probably not going to be the majority that we are now. And good. You know what I mean? And also, we've had a good run. Like, we did some shitty things, and we need to take a step back and reflect on that and let other people have the spotlight and let other people have representation and let other people have opportunities. So yeah, I'm all for bisexual Robin, and fuck you if you're not. Moving on. Today is National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day. Is it pecan or pecan? I don't pecan, 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 pecan. I think it's pecan. It's also National Radio Day and National Tooth Fairy Day. So shout out to the Tooth Fairy. Maybe kids should have to save all of their teeth up. You know what I mean? Like they lose a tooth throughout the year. They guys got to put it in the little Tooth Fairy bank or the bag or whatever. And they got to save their teeth up all year round. And you put it under your pillow on the 20th of August. And the Tooth Fairy makes a lump sum payment to you, okay? And maybe you probably save some money. You know what I mean? She probably saved some money. She changed her business to this. I mean, like, because you don't got it. Like, what does Tooth Fairy pay now? I think I got like $1 as a kid, $1. So inflation, that's probably like $50 now. You know, in these kids. So instead of paying like $50 for one tooth, you could just give them like $150 for how many teeth do kids have? 20, 30, 50? I mean, if you have 10 teeth and you get $150, like this kid, you give $150 to a kid, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck do I do with this?" If that's 10 teeth, you know what I mean? Like if you're paying them the $50, that's $500. That's huge. Not to mention like Easter Bunny, Santa, they only work one day a year. Why can't the Tooth Fairy? You know what I'm saying? Like, come talk to me, Tooth Fairy. I'll become your new agent. We're gonna get this business model worked out. Now, lastly, it's National Mosquito Day. So who decided to give these motherfuckers a holiday? Like, honestly, for what? National Dracula Bug Day. Mosquitoes get all you can eat buffets because all us fat people got to sit outside in Speedos and bikinis to please these little blasters, bruh. Little bastards, bloodlust is what I was trying to say. Blastards. That's hilarious. Yeah, so who the fuck gives mosquitoes a day? Like, aren't they like the biggest pests of all? Like, what do mosquitoes contribute? If you know what mosquitoes contribute, give me a shout out. Let me know in the comment section or on Twitter at IAMTRAVVYT. Let me know what is a mosquito good for? Because to me, they're good for nothing. Good for nothing ass mosquitoes. So OnlyFans has also said that they're stopping sexually explicit content to keep investors happy starting October 1st. I've read into this just a little bit, and apparently you're still allowed to do nudity as long as it follows the guidelines that they will set on October 1st. But them saying that they're not, like, OnlyFans getting rid of sexually explicit content is like Popeye's getting rid of chicken. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Pizza Hut getting rid of pizza. Yeah, I don't know. It's like Papa John's getting rid of Papa John. Well, sorry, no, they actually did do that. It's the racism again. Bye, Papa John. They should rename it. It should be Papa Shacks now. But going back to the OnlyFans thing, I don't understand. They're trying to keep investors happy, but like, How's Patreon doing? How's Patreon doing right now? That's the question. We gotta look into that because if they're trying to make OnlyFans be a Patreon alternative, I could maybe, but it depends on how is Patreon doing. Are people paying to see their favorites on there? Because I mean, I'll be honest, we started Patreon and didn't see shit from it, but you know, a little bit different between PrimeTime Travvy T, Cardi B. Just it's right there, neck and neck. We're almost about the same level of fame, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know. What's the alternative? You think somebody's gonna have to create an alternative, right? Like there's gotta be I know D Money was talking about he's gonna start Mostly Simps to capitalize on the vacuum that this creates. But somebody's gonna be a billionaire off this. I don't have the web design or app design experience to do so. But somebody's gonna make good money off this. Also, if OnlyFans didn't get rid of this, why don't they have an app? Because as I was researching this, I found out they don't have an app. Like it's all internet based. You have to get on your browser, and yeah, I don't understand why. Why is that a thing? All right. That being said, follow and tweet at IAMTRAVVYT on Twitter and say the word pumpernickel for a free follow and shout out from me. Why pumpernickel, you might ask? Well, I think you should mind your business because I don't ask you about your safe word, Bridget. Don't kink shame. Pumpernickel to at IAMTRAVVYT for a free follow and shout out. So fun fact of the day, copper doorknobs are self-disinfecting. Good thing to hear during a global pandemic. Apparently brass sterilizes the bacteria that comes from your nasty motherfucker's hands. So there you go. Want to stop the COVID-19 situation? Switch to copper doorknobs. And that's the bottom line because good old Uncle Joe's Junkle. I'm stumbling all over my fucking words today. Good old Uncle Joe said so. These jokes would be great if I could fucking not stumble over them. Fucking punchlines and shit. But you heard it here first. Next presidential press conference, Joe Biden is going to denounce the vaccine and publicly back the doorknob initiative. Brass doorknob initiative. Got to get all on board. Fuck these vaccines. Just kidding. In all seriousness, get vaccinated, you dorks. And that's going to be the end of this segment for this week. But stay tuned. We've got two amazing interviews coming up. One with Shanna Stoker, the granddaughter of Bram Stoker. Bram Stoker. Bram Stoker. I said it wrong. It's Bram. I asked. And then also with Mulu Music, great artist. So be sure to check those out. And before we go here, just a friendly reminder to always spay and neuter your racists and the homophobes. And here is a word from our sponsor.
Are you tired? Tired of those other energy drinks hitting you with a short burst of jittery energy, followed by a crash that leaves you with less energy than you had before? Well, fear not, because Ray's energy drinks are specifically formulated to get you going without making you jittery and keeps you from crashing. With 0 sugars, 0 calories, and better caffeine than a cup of coffee, Ray's energy drinks are the #1 growing energy drink on the market. With flavors like Baja Lime, Sour Gummy Worm, Guava Mango, and Strawberry Colada, Ray's has some of the best tasting energy drinks available. You can get a case of Ray's right now by going to repsports.com and using promo code T1THREE when you check out to take 15% off of your next order. That's promo code T1THREE for 15% off of your next order of better, tastier energy.
All right, guys, we are here with the triple threat, Shanna Stoker. So, actress, vocalist, dancer, witch, entrepreneur. Don't think there's much that you can't do. Shanna, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So, like I said in the beginning, triple threat. actress, singer, dancer. Which of the three do you prefer?
Well, I would not call myself a dancer by any means, but I appreciate it.
Okay.
I can do choreography, but I certainly am not out there cutting a rug, like some of the other
Yeah.
people I've worked
Okay.
with. But singing has always probably been it was my first passion as far as
Okay.
creative arts go. I've been singing my entire life, but I love acting as well, and I've done a lot of straight plays too. So it's really hard for me to choose between singing and acting. I think singing's just the one I've been doing longest, so we'll say that one.
Okay. That's totally fair. So with singing, do you have aspirations to like sing, like do an album or a EP or something like that, or is it mostly just you want to be in like a musical or do covers?
Well, I've done a little bit of everything. I sang for a big band, a 25 or 23 piece big band. I was their vocalist, so we did a lot of
Okay.
jazz and funk and stuff. So I could definitely see doing an album or touring with the band like that, or even just doing like a combo. I've worked with a 90s cover band. I was their lead singer for a little bit. I've done a lot of classical training in opera and musical theater, and I mean, I just honestly, I could see myself doing any of it. It's all about the opportunities that come your way.
Absolutely. So let me just ask you this before we get too far into this interview. How do you describe yourself? Like, is there a one word descriptor that you could put on yourself?
Gosh, no, and I think that
Okay.
that's one of the things I take pride in,
Okay.
is the fact that there are a lot of different descriptors for me, I think, because I would never wanna put myself in a box, and I think that's part of me. One of the things one of the words I use to describe myself is I'm a witch, and that's one of the many descriptors, but the reason I love it so much is because it right there tells you I don't exactly bow down to societal standards. I like things to be a little bit outside of the box, and I'd like to make my own rules.
Okay. Yeah. I can totally relate to that because I mean, like, I've acted. I mean, obviously, I do podcasts. I write music. I like all over the
You get
place, and
it,
it's yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It's hard to put yourself in a box. So usually, I will describe myself as like an artist or a creator. Those are usually the two that I
Mhm.
use because it's impossible to use one word to describe what I do.
I agree, and I think people that have creative pursuits, we do tend to dip our toes in a lot of different ponds because that just kinda comes with the territory. You have to be flexible and you have to, like I said, go where those opportunities lead you.
Absolutely. So as I'm looking over your resume right now, I'm kind of seeing. So you got Sabella Howard in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, Sarah Brown, Guys and Dolls, Elizabeth Benning, Young Frankenstein, uh, and others on here as well. There's probably yeah, you've got a hefty resume. What's been your favorite role to play?
That is really difficult. I think for me, my favorite musical role for me to play, definitely Sabella Howard, or yeah, Hallward.
Yeah.
She was just such a powerhouse to play, and like that role, it's basically like Victorian rap. I mean, the
Okay.
way that you're the way that like the the libretto is written is just words and just so much wordiness, and every word has a different note. I mean, it's just I loved it. It was such a challenge, and I really enjoyed, plus that one didn't call for a lot of dancing, so that was nice. I
Okay.
could just rely on my voice and my acting. But I also, it was really funny because I went directly from playing like I had Elizabeth Benning and Young Frankenstein, who was she actually reminded me a lot of Sabella because they're both like these two-time and Hessies, and they've got big personalities, and they're just very much full of themselves. And I will say Sabella had a lot more. She was a lot more well-rounded, I think, by the end of the show, other
Sure.
than Elizabeth Benning. But I
Right.
loved I loved that role as Sabella, and I also played Annie. Sorry, I'm thinking of now I can't remember her name, and it's ridiculous, but I was in, Miracle Worker, and I played the teacher. Why can't I remember her name now? But her name was Anne, and I got to play the teacher from The Miracle Worker, essentially, and that was my first straight play I ever was in, and that was a huge undertaking, and just a really great character to play, a historical figure like that, and somebody who actually did make such huge strides for people like um, Helen Keller, and it's just that was an incredibly intense and wonderful show to work on.
Yeah, Annie Sullivan, by the way. I only know
Annie
that because I
Sullivan,
have your
thank
resume
you.
in front of me.
Yes, I appreciate it because I'm like, I usually talk about her all the time, and now I'm in Sabella mode. So
Yeah.
thank you. Annie Sullivan, yes.
Also, I'm saying Glinda, like as in Glinda the Good Witch, the Wizard of
Yes,
Oz.
I did.
Okay.
I played Glinda in the yeah, that was great. I loved her. She's great.
Okay. So I'm also seeing Mina Harker from Dracula. So
Of course.
explain how special of a role that is since you are a descendant of Bram Stoker.
That was incredibly special, and it was even more special because that was my first performance role that I had taken in like 11 years because I didn't get to perform while I was in college. When I switched my major from performance into history, I had to full time. My schedule was just my history schoolwork and then working full time,
Yeah.
basically. So I didn't have time to perform and I missed it so much. So it was a really important role for me then for that reason. It was important for me to take a role in a show that has so much familial meaning to me because of Bram Stoker being my relative. And I'd also had a really bad car accident, just like, I mean, it was less than 6 months before that. I'd almost died in a car
Oh my
accident and
goodness.
almost, yeah, and I almost lost my left arm. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then I just was so tired of being on bed rest and so tired of having all of these physical limitations that I was like, I'm going to do a show and I'm going to do Dracula. Obviously, this was meant for me. So
Yeah.
it was wonderful. And it was so healing for me to do a show that is so important to me and to be a part of that. And also to explore my own interest in the dark and the macabre at such a dark time in my life. It felt very healing.
Yeah, it's almost poetic, what you're
It
saying.
was.
Going from not being able to perform for so long and then a car accident almost takes you out completely, not ever to be able to perform again. And you used it almost as a symbol of strength and a symbol of like I don't want to say resurrection, but like that's what it
That's
feels
what it
like. Yeah.
felt like, though. I
Yeah.
mean, it did. It really did. That car accident was so meaningful for me. I mean, it was just absolutely the hardest thing I've ever been through in my entire life, but it changed the trajectory of my entire life's path, and I'm so grateful for it, as off and weird as that sounds. I am.
Yeah, I can definitely get that. It feels like a phoenix. You know what I mean? Like
Very
rising from
much.
the
That's such a
ashes.
good way. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
So what at what point have you always known that you were a descendant of Bram Stoker, or did you just find out recently? Like not recently, but like whenever. Like tell that story.
Well, I actually found out my family's known forever. They've been talking. I mean, it's been passed down evidently for generations in our family. And I've got
Okay.
lots of family that are named after people within his same generation, Richard and Susan and all of those
Okay.
names. So it's definitely always been a part of my family history. However, I didn't find out until I was in second grade. And it was because I had just found out at the time that the Black Plague was the reason, like the inspiration behind Ring Around the Rosie, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
And so I had just found that out and I was in second grade and I thought this was the coolest thing in the world. And so I started writing horror story about it, about a little girl like myself. And I don't even remember the plot, but I was writing this horror story while I was visiting my Stoker family in Auburn, Alabama. And my grandparents noticed it and asked what I was doing. And I was telling them all about it. And they were telling me that I was, it ran in the family and I was continuing the macabre line or whatever. And so ever since then I've known, but spookiness has always been a part of me. I think it runs in
Okay.
our blood.
Okay. So, speaking of spookiness, currently you are a co-owner of the Ghoulish Garb shop. Talk about
That's
that a little
right.
bit. Talk about what that is and what you're looking to do with that.
Yeah, okay. Well, so the Ghoulish Garb, yes, I do co-own that with my partner. And basically we create unique designs that are focused on celebrating all things that are witchy and macabre and just off the beaten track, right? Very
Okay.
much It's very much based on my own personality and interests. So we're best known for our Tarot Major Arcana deck, and we sell all of those designs on our clothing and tapestries and posters and mugs and all of that, which you can find in our Etsy store. But really, it's just like I said, it feels very much like an offshoot of my own personality, and I'm grateful that I get to spend every day, talking to customers and designing new beautiful, unique idea or designs that are just, in our heads, and then we get to put them on paper. It's just incredible. And I feel so blessed and grateful for it.
Absolutely. And you said that is your full-time job. That's what you do. So
Yes.
do you have any advice, words of wisdom, anything like that, someone who may be listening to this and be thinking, I want to get into something like that, or I want to start my own business, or I want to do this, or I want to whatever. Do you have anything that you could tell them?
Diligence is key. That is the thing, because I mean, we weren't able to just go directly into being full time with this. I had to work a full time job for the first 2 years, in addition to trying to grow this and trying to get back to all my customers in 24 hours and trying to, come up with new designs and put new listings up. And it was just, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy 3 years, but just staying diligent and remembering that the work you're putting in now, you may not see the growth right now, but you're going to, because it's just a numbers game. The more designs you can put up, the more, of quality, obviously, not just, it's not just quantity. You want quality, but by what I mean by that is like, okay, we've got this quality design. So I could just put it on posters, or I can try to diversify this a little bit and put it on posters and shirts and tapestries and blankets and whatever you can find that fits your niche. And also make sure that you have a niche that you comfortably can come up with good content from your own mind. Don't steal from people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't do that.
Definitely. So do you make everything yourself, or is it like an outsource type deal? Like, I know you're doing the designs, but like the tapestries and the t-shirts, and that's got to be a lot. Like,
It is a lot, and that's actually one of the reasons we went with this type of business in the first place. We do mostly print on demand items. So we
okay,
have a couple of different print shops that we work with, third party, that are incredible. We've got great relationships with them. And so most of the items in our shops are going to be print on demand, which means that when you purchase the item, we send that to, and then they print your item specifically that you ordered and send it directly out to you. Now, we do have some items that we keep in stock. We've started to buy some of our tapestries wholesale, since we see like what tapestries are performing the best, and we know kind of consistently what to keep on hand. So we do wholesale some of our tapestries, and of course we have our Tarot Major Arcana deck that we have to keep in stock as well, because that is a physical item we order from our third party printer. And so that, and the stickers, there's just a few things like that, but most of it is print on demand, which is great because it keeps your inventory low.
absolutely. I mean, with T13 Media, we've kept all of our stuff print to order, like our merch and
Hmm.
stuff. I mean, we sell like apparel. We don't sell tapestries or posters or anything like that. But yeah, because I couldn't even imagine having a stock full of like just t-shirts and hoodies and stuff at my
Well, we
house.
do.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. That's another reason. Like, we just don't have the space for that. Now, we
yeah,
do eventually hope to broaden ourselves into having our own print facility and storage facility and everything. But it's just we have to work up to that point.
oh,
We're
definitely, yeah.
still getting there.
Are you both located in the same general vicinity?
We are. We
Okay.
actually, yeah, we both are in Orlando right now.
Okay. Okay. Um, so is there any thoughts of one day getting a physical shop?
Absolutely. That is high on my list
Okay.
of my manifestation goals for the future.
Yeah.
Talking about witchcraft earlier. Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite things is customer service. And I know people who work in customer service are like, she's crazy, because I've worked in customer service for most of my life in
Yeah.
work. And I know it's incredibly, you're always going to deal with people who suck, frankly,
Yeah.
but most of
Right.
the people that I deal with on a daily basis are amazing. And I think it's because of the particular niche that we've gotten into, as far as I cater mostly to practicing witches or to just people who like the macabre. And both sets of people, a lot of times they overlap, but even if you're just part of one of those subsets of people, usually you understand what it's like to be different, and people who understand what it's like to be different are usually kinder people. So I
Yeah,
deal with some incredible people, and that's why I love working with customers. So the idea of having a brick and mortar store where I can talk to our clientele every single day, where I can like have this communication on a much more like organic level, makes me just so excited about the future.
absolutely. So we keep dancing around the subject of witchcraft here. I'm interested. I'm diving all in. What does it mean to be a witch? What does that mean?
Well, for me, it just, again, kind of like what I mentioned earlier, it means that I make my own rules and there's no box. That's the good thing for me is which can be very much up to the interpreter. Um, I do practice. I don't practice every day in the way I wish I would because, again, my discipline is mainly focused on my business right now. But I
Right.
do little things every day. I was talking with, and I had another interview earlier with actually a podcast specifically about witches, and we were talking about that daily rule because a lot of things on TikTok and witch talk and things like that will make you feel like you're a bad witch if you're not doing all of these daily rituals, if your altar doesn't look this way, or if you're not lighting these particular candles. And my favorite thing about witchcraft is it's not one size fits all. There are no rules, there are no boxes. You do what makes you feel happy, and it's all about your own energy and and working with the universe around you. So for me, my witchcraft is a very personal thing, but it can be anything from doing an actual full moon ritual one night to just stirring my coffee in the morning and adding intention to what I hope to gain from the day, or waking up and thanking my body for carrying me through last night, or, thanking my home for offering me shelter and peace, or, I mean, just I'm very much an I think animist would be the best word, where I believe that everything has its own innate energy and spirit, and animals or, crystals or wood, trees, whatever. There is an energy, and that energy is something that you can feel and harness and work with. And I love working with it.
So, at what point in your life did you realize I'm a witch? Like, have you always known?
I
Was
have.
it
I
what?
really
So okay,
have.
so it wasn't second grade when you were writing the book. It was before that.
No, I've always been obsessed with witches, and of course, as a child, that's going to manifest itself in watching every movie or TV show I possibly can. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Practical Magic, Hocus Pocus, every variation of a witch that
Yeah.
was, I tried to be, and I always just you know felt like I'm gonna turn 16 and somebody's gonna tell me I'm a witch. I'm gonna have all these magical powers or something. When I was a child, that's how it felt. And of course, as I grew older, and I actually found out my uncle was a practicing witch, and so he started including me and teaching me a lot about his work. And he's also he practices Judaism, so he is a Jewish witch, and it's really cool to see. It was cool for me to see how you can make it so personal to your belief system. So for me, I don't really have a particular religion, but my witchcraft doesn't need that. And other people might want to bring in their religion, or it's so personal, and that's what I love about witchcraft. But I've always known, and it was something that, even though I always knew, it still was difficult to come out of the broom closet, as they say, and say, "This is really a part of my daily life, and this is who I wanna be identified as."
Okay. Yeah. That I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any more witch questions, but something on your your resume popped up at me, and I see you can speak in multiple dialects.
Yes.
I would love to hear whatever ones you want to throw out.
Oh gosh. Alright, well, I'll need something to read,
Okay.
or I guess what okay, I can try. Oh lord, now I'm nervous 'cause somebody is gonna be like, "She's awful at this." Okay. Um, well, I had to do, like, a high British accent for Sabella. So that would be just, "Oh, Monty, darling, of course I'm so happy to see you." It's just very it's very, like,
That was
lilty, and
good.
everything's, like, right at the tip of the tongue and right here. Now, oh, the lips are going to stay right close together. You don't really want to move your mouth too much when you're speaking like this. And so that would be that would be my version of kind of high British, late Victorian era. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what I did for the show.
I liked it.
Thank you.
um, all right. So, what's your goals going forward? Like, what's the one must do thing on your bucket list? Like, what is the one thing that has to happen in your life?
Oh, there are so many. Um,
Okay, list them all then.
I oh my gosh, right? Okay. So I really want to become scuba certified because
Okay.
I love the water, and I just would love to spend hours upon hours if I can down there. I just think it's fascinating, and I think that marine biology is so fascinating. I want to see Aurora Borealis. I want to travel to every continent, and I want to improve my French. I wanna have the storefront, like I said. I really want that storefront to be in Salem because that's also I wanna live in Salem at some point. I've always been drawn to
I
Salem,
almost
which I
asked
think
you
is
that
normal.
question. It was like, where would you like this to be located, the store? But I assume you're both in Orlando. Like, it goes to Orlando, but that makes way more
Well,
sense.
yeah, and the thing is we talked about this when we first started, like, saying, because 'cause I've wanted to have my own witchy shop for as since I saw Practical Magic, because I
Okay.
saw her in this cute little town with her cute little witchy shop, and I was like, "That's gonna be me one day." And so I know I'm gonna do it. I just have to get there, yeah, you know? And so, but yeah, I we talked about New Orleans or Salem because 'cause we're both from Mobile, Alabama. I'm not sure if you know where that is, but it is right on the water on the south, the coast of Alabama, right on the Gulf
Okay.
Coast. And so we're like 2 hours, drive from New Orleans. So we used to go to New Orleans all the time. My family and I used to. I love New Orleans. It has a special place in my heart, but I feel very drawn to New England. And I just Salem's always been just enchanting to me, and I absolutely would love to live there.
Both places, both New Orleans and Salem makes sense because I mean Salem witch trials, like we get that, but New Orleans has like the voodoo and all that's like
Mhm.
tied to it as well. So that hey, maybe you'll get big enough you can get both.
I
Um,
mean, yes, please. I would love to.
all right. I actually don't have any more questions for you, but if you could just give us your plugs, like where can people find you, and then also can you recommend one thing for them? Doesn't it can be anything in the world.
Absolutely. Okay. So as far as our plugs go, do you want that first or do you want
Yeah,
the
whatever works for
recommendation?
you.
Okay. As far as our plugs, you can find me on TikTok, and that's going to be at the underscore ghoulish underscore gal. So the ghoulish gal, but with underscores in between. On Instagram, you can find us with at the ghoulish garb with underscores in between. And you can also go to my Etsy. So for Etsy, it's probably easiest to go to my TikTok. But if you want to go to Etsy and you just want to search there, search for the ghoulish garb all together, no spaces, and that will take you to our shop. So there's lots of different ways, or you can just search on Google the ghoulish garb Etsy. So that's another way. But we do have our Terror Tarot Major Arcana deck. That is our biggest deck right now, or our biggest project right now. That is out, and we are about to feature our shadow edition of that deck. That is going to be a black and white version with silver edging instead of the black matte edging. And it's very traditionally goth. It's gorgeous, very minimalist. And we added a 23rd extra card there. So be looking out for that one. We should be releasing that within the next couple of months. I'm very excited about it. Okay, and so you asked for something to recommend, right?
Yep.
Something I would recommend. Okay. I am going to recommend my favorite song in the world. This is the song that I use to ground myself. It's the song I use before meditation, before witchcraft, before, a calming bath, whatever. It's my absolute favorite song. It has been since I was 13 years old, and it is called A Boy with a Coin by Iron and Wine. They are my favorite, or he's my favorite artist. So check them out. It's a great song, and I hope that the music can speak to you the way it does to me too.
Definitely. And thank you for coming on, and I'd love to have you back on soon.
I'd love that. Thank you so much for having me, Travis.
Absolutely.
Your body and the bodies you're loving deserve nothing but the best. Organic Lovin' is the only adult subscription box that includes eco-friendly body products, from body-safe adult toys to sex-positive books and erotic seminars. Organic Lovin's online store has everything you and your partner or partners could ever need to heat things up. And right now, your friends at T13 Media want to take 10% off of your next order. Just go to organiclovin.com and use promo code T1, T-H-R-E-E, like the sound the bed makes, when you check out. Organic Lovin'. Love organically, purely, deeply, boldly.
Stay in front of the fucking code.
All right, guys. I am here with Mulu. Mulu, how you been?
I've been good, man. How you been?
I'm good. Mulu was on Debatable, another T13 Media show. He's a cool dude. We vibed. Him and Mike vibed a little bit more than me and he did. But you know what?
It was a collective.
It was Mike and Mulu in the morning.
It needs to happen, bro. I'm telling them all at me, bro.
They got 6 seasons and a movie.
Yes.
So first off, before we get too far, get into the questions I wrote down. We were having a little bit of a conversation just now before I hit record. So I asked Mulu. I said, "Do you want me to call you a rapper, artist, a musician, a singer? What do you want to be called?" And he answered with artist, and talked about how when you say rapper, it kind of puts you in a box. And anybody that's listened to the show before knows that I completely agree with that. I call myself a creator, an artist. I don't call myself a podcaster or a rapper or a actor or a comedian or any of these things, because I do. You can't put me in one box. So tell me what does that mean for you? Because you said that you put yourself in the box for a little bit. What made you decide to be like, fuck this? I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna do what I got to do.
I don't know, man. It's just really the whole, I guess, claustrophobic of like my artist was claustrophobic. Like for some reason, being the rapper, I had to like come through with heavy bars and shit all the time, or come through a certain way or certain beats, and people expecting stuff from, like they wanted to hear you over certain beats. People requesting things. It's like, nah, bro, that's not my shit. I like to create how I like to create, and instead of having things forced and people expecting like rapper shit from me all the time.
Absolutely. So Mulu is your stage name. Who is Mulu, first off?
Mulu is a complicated individual, but simply just a dude who wants to spread good energy for the most part through his music and to people. And whether that's talking about any topics, because everything's a part of life, so it's really just a connecting thing for me. It's like my way to connect with people is music, and my words, maybe it can help people, maybe not. That's really just Mulu as a person, like selfless as an artist. I guess it's really not about the usual shit. It's more so about connecting with the people and bringing good energy around.
Absolutely. And Mulu is an acronym, right?
Yes, it stands for My Unique Life Unleashed. The way that came together is just debatable thing between me and my cousin, but the way I remember it is just an accidental word that I told her I'd make into something, and then in a creative writing class I made the acronym for My Unique Life Unleashed, and it was like, oh, because I tried to make Mulu a word. I tried to say it meant cool, but it wasn't picking up with people, and it didn't even feel right coming off the tongue to be like, you just say that's dope or something, but like, I don't know, I really wanted to make it something. And just seeing it for acronym, like the class was about acronyms, I'm like, yo, let's make it something, and it just stuck.
Okay, so there's no tie to your real name at all there.
No, not at all. I have I guess I keep my name for like my poems and stuff.
Okay.
And then I want to start venturing off into different styles of music, so maybe I'll use it for that too.
Okay. What styles of music are you trying to do?
I'm trying to learn how to play guitar because I like bluesy music, so I just feel like I can make something cool if I learned how to play the guitar.
I feel that.
Yeah,
I really like myself when I'm making music. Like I tend to gravitate towards like jazz beats or like blues beats.
Yeah.
And so I can totally get it.
I'm a big Ninth Wonder fan. So like when I used to like scrub the internet for beats to just learn how to rap or whatever, to Ninth Wonder was always like the one person that I knew. He's got classic boom bap.
Yeah, I
And
love
so
the
like,
rap ones.
yeah, I mean, I like listening to, I mean, Alchemist and Ninth Wonder. Those were the two people that I would just practice my raps over.
I love
Very
that.
like, you know, chill, but Alchemist will go out there, so keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely. So I always like to say like, oh, I don't know where to begin with giving creative people when I'm talking to them and everything, but let's just start at the beginning. Where does this story begin? When does Mulu pop up? Like when did you decide, yo, this is what I'm gonna do?
When me and my cousin used to really like, it started out as just rapping A Tribe Called Quest, Find My Way, you know, for the family. I did some stuff with some friends in 3rd grade for a teacher. We rapped over Uchi Wally. But like, that wasn't the moment that I was like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. It's really just me and my cousin just really chilling in the basement and writing out raps. And he was just a very talented individual. He taught himself how to play guitar. He was writing with me, and you know, we just always talked about writing stuff, not just music, whether it was like stories or scripts or whatever. So like, that was where my creativity was like, this is what I want to do, just to create in general. But like, me and him, we wrote a whole like album and we drew the artwork out for it.
Okay.
And yeah, like, it was just like, this is what I want to do.
Are you good at drawing?
Oh, I'm terrible at drawing. I'm not like I could like, I don't know, if I sat down and really, because in art, I took art class my senior year, and I was like in that mindset of like, I don't think I could draw, bro, but I like kicking it in here. And the art teacher was really like, you know, he did his thing. He showed me like, you can draw, bro. Because like, there were some things that I was surprised. I was like, damn, I drew this shit. Like,
Yeah.
so, you know, I think it's all mental shit. You got to believe that you could do the shit.
Definitely. I think that's to personalize it with me. It's the same thing. It's when I first started, I always wanted to rap. Like rap was my first love in general. Like before I wanted to be an actor, before I even knew what a podcast was, all that, it was always I want to rap. But I was terrible.
I feel like we all are when we first
Awful.
started. Like,
I didn't know how to. I had no rhythm. I couldn't be like I would try to freestyle. The beat would hit and I'd say my words 12 seconds later. Like, you know what I mean? It was awful.
you were blue. You were ahead of the blue phase wave.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. If I would have been young back then, I probably would have made it. Or if I was the me back then was out now, I probably would make it.
You be in there.
But yeah, I kept practicing, and it was like the thing is like there's not very many people out here teaching people how to rap. Like you gotta you kind of gotta learn yourself.
I like when people like, because there's people that have hit me up, you know, and ask questions of how I like to write, you know, and I like to make sure that I explain that in a proper way. Like, I, you know, put people on the ways that I do stuff. I'm not saying that's the way to write, but this is how I come with it. So there's no way to really be like, this is how you rap. I don't think so. You gotta.
No, I agree.
You gotta have that want to do it, or you know, to develop the skill, perfect the craft, and like beat it. No.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But, you know.
So when you're speaking of the writing process, you're in album mode, right? And you're about to you're trying to put out a project, and it's like right in the beginning. Where are you getting inspiration from? What are you drawing inspiration from? You drawing it from life? You drawing it from other musicians? Art?
A lot of I mean, it's kind of all the above type of deal. Okay. I directly really write from my experiences, what I know. Conversations might spark a song. I might put in my Evernote if something interesting catches my ear, and I'm like, yo, that's a cool thing. But lately, a lot of things have been like, you know, just sitting with the beat and seeing where it's taking the mind. You know, I don't know. It's just, it depends on the energy of the album and how I want to come at it. Because like with Ornery Kid, I was sitting on a lot of music that was just that it was kind of uniformed itself, how everything came together.
Yeah,
a lot of that energy was just like spot on. So I'm in another form of that right now, but really just trying to find better ways to write. It's always trying to like get better at what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
yeah,
I did
absolutely.
it like this. I did it over this style. I kind of want to express stuff in a different way, make it palatable, and you learn how to do that. I try to pass that knowledge any way that I can if people hit me up for stuff.
So from I mean, you said a lot there, but one thing it kind of stuck with me. You didn't say this specifically, but would you say your albums become like a time capsule for your life in that moment?
Yeah.
Because it feels like that's what you were saying.
What sucks sometimes is like, when you finally release it and it might, it's things that you're speaking on about a time then and people looking at you kind of like you're in that light now. You're like, nah, bro, these are pieces of, these are like journal entries that you're sharing kind of.
Yeah.
It's like being like, oh yeah, you want to read some of my journal? Like,
yeah, right.
People are like, oh, okay, fucking, and I'm gonna tear it apart on the internet. Is this okay? Like, but now people didn't tear it apart. I got Ornery Kid was well received, and I'm honored for real with the way that people show love. And people still showing love on it. So thank you. And for the new listeners, go listen to that.
Definitely. So it's time of the interview that every rapper gets. Can't say you're a rapper, can't say you're a rap fan without hearing this question for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Top 5 dead or alive.
I hate the dead or alive part. It's like cheat code, but for real, like no specific order. I'm just gonna go off the rappers that hit my mind. Nas is one of my favorites. Kendrick, obviously. I gotta put Big in there.
Okay.
The 4 and the 5. I always like to throw random people out there that I feel really do deserve that they're talented enough to like just rock shit. Is it just rap? Yeah. Like I always put Bino in there as my wild card pick.
Okay.
I feel like people don't respect his bars enough. He be spitting for real.
He do be spitting.
Like his pen game's crazy, and most of the time it's like he really just. It's crazy, bro. It's just one of those people that just can do whatever, and you're like, damn. So people don't think to be like, yeah, he's one of the top 5. For my last one, people gonna trash me for my list, but it doesn't matter. Damn, man. Cole. I'm just gonna give it to Cole because I got my arm in a twist right now. And I don't know. J. Cole keeps popping up in my head. That's like I put Kendrick in there already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are people like between him and Kendrick and Cole. Those are 2 people that inspire me to be better with the pen. Like be more personable and really share your stuff. Those 2 people were like, yeah.
Definitely.
Even Nas, you know what I mean? Like I listen to it's way too many. I listen to a lot of styles of music though.
For sure. For me, my top 5, the 5 will fluctuate at times, but the one I generally go with, I'll go with from 5 to 1, Rakim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3 Stacks.
Oh my god, I didn't put 3 Stacks in there. Take Cole out. Take Cole out. Put 3 Stacks in
there. Nas.
Yeah.
Eminem. Kendrick.
Okay.
To me, Kendrick's the GOAT to me because Eminem's really good in my opinion, but the thing is he's got a style. Like
he got his own lane.
You know what you're getting when you listen to Eminem.
Yeah.
You hit shuffle on Kendrick, you don't know what you're getting. Like
I feel like if you're putting M in there, I would have to put Royce in there over M. I know Royce would probably get mad at me for saying that, but like I say that like I know him, but
I was about to ask that my next question.
I said it casually, like I know.
You're like, yeah, Nickel get mad. I'm
like, he mad. He probably gonna hit me when he sees this, but
right. I was like, tell him to share this.
Nah, but one day
share and be like Mulu whack. He lost his mind.
Yeah, he be like, who is this dude? No.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I watch a lot of interviews. Like, I've seen that people try to put him above Eminem. He'd be like,
I feel that like I think they're neck and neck skill wise, but unfortunately,
I love him.
Impact has a play, and I don't think Royce's impact is as big as Eminem's.
I feel that. You feel that? So, it depends on how you're molding your top 5, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm really mad that I didn't put 3 Stacks in there in the beginning, and I apologize for 3 Stacks.
he knows him personally, too.
I wasn't ready for my top 5 question. I never am ready for it. It switches up every time. If you ask me this question 2 weeks later, I'll give you 5 different rappers.
I would say you said the throwing the random one in there. I a lot of times my 5 will be either between Rakim or Joyner Lucas.
Rakim is a solid ass because he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he impacted the game big. And like even like DMX is a good wild card because he spits, bro.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest DMX fan myself,
Yeah,
but
he got the
yeah,
bars. I'm a
the
bars guy, so like
yeah, no, I am too. I like don't get me wrong, I like vibes too, and I'm way into my vibes bag right now. Like I'm listening to like Drake's my favorite rapper. Don't care. I'm saying that he can never be on my top 5 because of the ghostwriting stuff. Like same with
Right.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Like you can't like I'm not mad at you for it.
Yeah,
but I can't say you're the greatest MC.
Yeah, you can't give top 5 spots to Ghost
Exactly. If we're talking top 5 artists, then Kanye and Drake both go up there for me. But if we're saying top 5 rappers, like, because to me, being a rapper is a like, or being an MC is like it's an honor. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's
you have
hard
to earn
narrow
that.
it down, bro. Like for me, for the 5.
Oh, definitely.
Because there's a lot, there's a good bit of people that you're just like, man, I want to give the spot to, but like they're nice, man.
Definitely.
The game is like stacked,
right?
Like the NBA,
especially when you're going all time. Like it's just
like when you say dead or alive, you're like, hey, fuck.
Yeah, because it's like I'll say this. I'm gonna get shit for these 3 people will never be on my top 5s. Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
Not because I don't think they're talented. I don't think that they have a large enough sample size.
Okay, but you're talking about impact.
No, it's not the biggest thing on my list though.
What don't they have? I would like to hear. I mean, like Tupac, I can understand because Tupac is like, Tupac had the impact, but people don't fuck with his cadence or like it's a West Coast sound. So if you didn't like West Coast sound and you weren't with it, but Big is just like he'd give it to you anyway, and the cadence is on point. The way he kicks it,
Big has one of the best flows.
He's telling stories like I don't know, man. Like in the small amount of the couple album he dropped,
I feel you.
Mad impact, bro, and he's inspired.
I feel you.
Real like the lyricists, the people with the cadences. He fucking mentored like Jadakiss. Everybody buzzing about Kiss right now, like they didn't remember Kiss being like fire.
That's crazy too. They are just like act like he just came out. Like
Kiss been
right
a problem. So
so Biggie, my problem with Biggie is just the sample size because it's I don't want to say it's easy to have a good album. It's easy to, the old phrase is it's easy to get to the top, harder to stay there.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I think, and I took this from Chris Rock. I know it's a weird person to quote when we're talking.
No, because Chris Rock's a hip-hop head.
So to me, you gotta have 4 albums.
You gotta have 4.
Yeah.
But like it's like bro, there's no way the Big was gonna put a garbage album out. No, I don't know. At least not the 4th one. He was on a crazy ass run of just 5 albums. He got cut short. He was young and he was only getting better. I feel like he would have reigned for a while, bro. I don't think there's a lot of rappers you can say that about that passed too soon, but Big was definitely just a different type of talent, bro.
Are you big in New York rap?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a guru on New York rap, but I love New York sound. So.
Okay, because you might not like this next one too. It's like I said there was 3. I only gave you 2. The other one's Jay-Z.
Yeah, I could see people saying that though. Like Hub's a businessman. He's a businessman than
exactly. And he has good songs. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, he's a beast lyrically. Like,
but there's very few songs where I'm like,
you could put him in your top 5. I feel like he's like an interchangeable like person. You could slide him in there.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you if you put him in there. It's just he's not going in for me.
Right, personally. It's preference.
Yeah,
it's all preference.
So
that's why.
And I think I'm not mad at Biggie or Pac going in either. Though it's just for me personally. I'm not.
I had to defend Big
doing it. Hey, I'm here for. I love it. But for me personally, I'm not doing it.
I'm not gonna force my legs into your top 5. I respect your top 5.
I feel you.
This isn't debatable.
Exactly. So we were talking about top 5 dead or alive. What? That's a terrible transition for this next one.
My god.
What do you want from life? Like, what do you? What's your
beautiful transition? Actually, I give it a fucking 9. Give it a 9 out of 10 because you didn't have confidence in it. But I just want to happiness, bro. To have that, whatever that may be for, everybody, and to embody that enough to give that off. You know what I mean? Like to give that off to everybody else around me. I just want to be like a good energy source, bro. Like that's really what I want out of life. And in order to be that, I have to really, take care of myself and, figure out that happy place, that happiness, what's really that peace to me outside of just music, because when you decide to make music, you're like the thing you want to do, you got to have that other thing,
Yeah,
for
definitely.
that peace. You got to that meditation or that yoga or, to keep yourself centered. So as long as I can continue to keep myself centered, which, we all have our moments of falling off. As long as you're getting back into that path, that's all I want to embody. That's what I want out of life. You know what I mean? Obviously, you want to be able to take care of everybody around you, and I want my shit to pop off. I want, those are generic answers to me as far as like, because it's obvious, we want these things. That's part of the, pieces of your, So I want my stuff to blow up. Obviously, I want to be able to take care of family and the friends that have helped me along the way. But overall, I would like to be at that peace enough to embody it well enough to give that to other people when they're around me or see me or hear me. They know I can get through something, or they know that I'm in a good place and this is how my energy is. Give that off, make it infectious. They'll do the same.
That was a good answer. I like that. So where do you as you're going down this path right now, where do you see yourself in like 4 or 5 years?
Really the goal has always been to make Mulu like a label, to give artists the platform to really just be themselves. I'm not saying nobody else does that. I just kind of, I don't know. I just feel like, Mulu, My Unique Life Unleashed, it opens it up. We're all unique people. So how do you like to be yourself? Nobody is going to sit here and tell you how you got to make your music. If it don't pop and, financials happen, whatever, that's business, but give people real opportunity to let loose without restrictions or people being like, well, we're going to shelf this. Like, nah, we'll see what it is.
Definitely. That's
obviously, I mean, in order for that to happen, I feel like my stuff would have to happen as well. But I'm gaining a lot of knowledge. So, at worst, if something didn't pop off for me and I felt like I had to take a step back, I would still try to focus on giving other people opportunities.
Yeah, there's a lot of A&Rs and like just record executives in general that were musicians that never made it.
Yeah.
And so there's a big
if you love music, you'll find your way to keep that in your life. I mean, even if it's not that, even if it's teaching, some people teach, some people do, like you said, A&Rs, they find their way into the business. Maybe you don't like the business and you want to find a different way to do your music. Maybe you fucking have a cover band that maybe you cover songs at a bar or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of people that just find ways to keep it in their life. So music will always be a thing. Writing will always be a thing. I still do poetry and stuff like that. And I really do have ideas for like at least sketches. You know what I mean? Like I just have to put more effort and have more confidence in that as an artist.
I definitely understand that.
You know what I mean? That's a real thing. Sometimes you were sitting on some really cool or funny or dope shit, and you're just like, man, you're overthinking it. So
definitely. I can definitely relate to that.
It happens.
So what's most important to you right now?
Most important is getting back into the grind. I let a lot of things take me off of the consistency. I mean, the momentum. Like I knocked off the horses, I guess you can say. So I've just been like really, I guess I've been humbled in another way to say it.
Okay.
And just really just looking at myself and being like, all right, I took a leap of faith by quitting my job and trying to do this stuff on my own. I went through my stuff. I fell down. Like, I'm getting back up and dusting myself off. And I'm going to try to embody that with the new music we've been working on. I have music I've been sitting on. So what's important to me right now is getting back to the music because I let myself get into just a bad headspace.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy to fall into that as a creative because you love your stuff and you want everybody else to love your stuff. And then when someone, and they don't, not even them not loving it, is if they don't love it as much as you do sometimes, like you kind of get like you start getting that funk. You're like, they'll be like, yeah, it's cool, and you're like, what you mean it's cool? Like,
I finally got past the like that part because like I just had to be like, yo, you have to let that go, though. Not everybody's always gonna feel the thing. Like my thing is like with lines, like I'll write certain bars where I'm like, is that just like too much? Like, is that trying to, you know what I mean? So I'll be overthinking certain bars that when I write it at the time, I'm like, this is hard. And then like sometimes you'll be watching people listen to it and the bar go over their head, but it may not have, you know what I mean? That's the problem with people watching and being an artist, and you're like, yo, I want to see if you fuck with this line, but you didn't do anything. But it don't mean that in their head they was like, oh, that's tough. You know what I mean? So really you got to take yourself out of that. I know when I watched the Childish Gambino interview, and he said that he had to stop being on the internet for like, even J. Cole, he was, you got to unplug sometimes. I know some artists from around my area that have taken their hiatus and been like, I got to take a step back and get centered. You have to stay centered, bro. If you don't stay centered, it's a wrap. You're going to be all over the place.
For sure.
I know from experience.
Yeah, right. I used to do social media cleanses all the time where I would just be like, all right, I'm not going to do social media for 30 days.
Yeah.
Just delete the apps out of my phone. Wouldn't do anything. It was I think I should get back to that, to be honest with you. But I'm over here trying to promote myself and everything, and it's like,
that's the thing. It's
hard to go away for that long. Especially like TikTok and Twitter, because those are like my two main platforms right now.
Yeah.
But
man, me and Twitter have never had a love relationship. I just don't. I'm just like, it's too much, bro.
I feel you.
I like to promote myself, and like I like Instagram and stuff like Instagram's probably my favorite. TikTok's cool too. You know, you make your jokes. You can, gives you the freedom to create some. And but Twitter's just like, I don't like sitting here just being like da 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 da. Like I don't.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
I can definitely. I've just decided that because I had trouble with Twitter for a long time because I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, what do you like? What do people want to hear? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be. I think Twitter's really good for celebrities.
Yeah, like DMX will sit and talk about Scooby-Doo, and like everybody's like, this is great. Like if I posted something about that, they'd be like, this motherfucker watching Scooby-Doo.
Right. And that's like, so I just basically was like, I'm gonna tweet whatever I want to tweet, and like whatever I'm gonna talk about is what I'm gonna talk about. Like it is what it is. Like I got like I'm gonna post whatever I'm doing in the moment. And if something crazy, like if I'm watching anime and some crazy shit go down, I'm gonna be like, oh, let me tell Twitter about this.
Yeah, it's just
hey y'all, this crazy shit just happened.
It's really just social commentary.
Exactly. And I was like, I don't. One of these days when I blow up, I'm gonna keep the same energy, and they're gonna love that. So.
My social, I don't know. I like to take clips. I like to make that shit. Like, I don't want to sit here and make my social comments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel you. Sometimes you do. Like, I'll crack my jokes. Or I'll say, random stone thoughts or something. But, that's probably about it in promotion.
I feel you. So last question. What if you could give anything to the world out there right now, the world of creatives, the young artists, the people just starting out, any kind of advice, words of wisdom, what would you give them?
Man, just persevere, man. Use your discernment. Watch who you're allowing into your creative space. That's supposed to be your sacred stuff. So like, always keep that sacred, so that it's always you and your thoughts. That's your place. Be creative. So protect that, and don't let the people be the reason why you don't drop something. Don't let an opinion be the reason why you're too afraid to be like, boom, let me put this out. Be yourself. If you want it, and find it in any capacity. If you love it, do it. That's my main advice. And don't let anybody woo how you're doing it. Take your bits and pieces, use your inspirations, but keep your creative place sacred.
It's good advice. So I'm gonna make you big on the screen here. Just go ahead and hit them with any plugs and recommendations.
Give me my close up. This is Mulu music. Like, no, that's my rappers though. Now this is This is Mulu, right? So we got the website. I just did a whole bunch of news. Like I revamped the website, so it's MuluMusic.com. You can go there. I got a little blog spot that I'm starting again. I used to blog back then, the Smoke Break blog. So I'm bringing that back to do poetry and things like that and be creative in another way. You can also purchase music on there, and that comes to the artist, and we'll put that right back into the music. Instead of just streaming it, you can actually purchase these tracks. And there's some things that aren't on streams that I put on there as well. And I'll be working on doing more stuff like that. Speaking of streams, transition, like my boy here. Go stream that Mulu. Look for the Mulu. It's a beard, it's a beanie. It's my face on some of it. So Apple Music, Spotify, go run that up. Ornery Kid, Trust the Process 1, Trust the Process 2. I got singles. We got so much music. So for new people, it just hit the shuffle button and let the journey go, or sit there with the album from top to bottom and put your people on. I also got merch that we're doing. You can't really see this one because my lighting's a little suspect, but it says roll one, smoke one, get work done. And it's the Mulu merch. So we're starting to do different stuff. I also got artists that I work with. So, where's my camera? I'm messing it all up. Boom. There we go. But it's Mulu merch. So I'm working on getting a better store. You can actually purchase stuff through the website right now through Teespring. But I'm working on my own brand so we can ship it to you. We can tag it up with the Mulu face and make it personable. But overall, man, spread good energy, stream more Mulu, and follow my boy.
There you go. Thanks for coming on. It was great talking to you.
It's always fun talking to you, bro. So, like I said, anytime.
That's right. That's right. We'll have to get you on again. But until then, enjoy his music, y'all.
Keep easy and go stream.